There we go. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another night for D&D. I hope I'm coming through okay. Yes, seems to be. Yes, welcome back. It's Sunday night. Normally this is Adventures Anonymous's off night, but we had that last week, and we felt we needed to get some content out there. So here we are again with everybody minus one, and yeah, that's really all I've got to say. I'm not gonna make this linger any longer than it has to. So I'm going to send us over to Okami.
All right. Wonderful. Welcome back, everyone. And yes, it is good to be back in the seat. It was a little bit of miscommunication for planning on my part last week. So I appreciate all of our wonderful, lovely, loyal watchers tuning in for this slightly bizarre, weird change of events. But yes, we are back deep in the heart of the dungeon.
Dun dun dun.
Dun dun dungeon. And yes, so when last we had left off, our wonderful band had made their way further through. They had found some chambers and were investigating, being led along by their little kobold guide. And they had found some rooms that contained, I can't talk tonight, don't mind me. Words. I can't word, apparently. Found some very interesting historical artifacts in the form of Zypher's diary. They had found an interesting puzzle that had proved a little bit challenging for our intrepid band, but they had managed to make their way through using a little bit of brain and a whole lot of brawn. And when we find our players now, everyone is just kind of crammed inside this, what appears to be a workroom with a great ape in the middle of it, and your little kobold companion had been commanded to leave to go spread the word of the great dragon lord's return. And so,
correction. He had been told to ostracize himself and wait till the puzzle resets, and then he has to solve it himself.
I'm sorry, you are correct. I had a different notes page open. You are correct. He had been ostracized and told to wait until the puzzle resets and then told to redo it himself. Thank you, our great dragon lord stand-in.
Welcome.
But yes, you are all now currently in what appears to be a small workroom. What would you like to do?
Is this the room with the puzzles on the table?
No. So, well, there are some puzzles on the table for what you can see. This appears to be more of an in-depth workroom. This appears to be more of there's So there's more detailed pieces on the table here. This appears to be more of the mechanical area. Some more of the puzzle mechanisms are on some of the tables. There's a couple bags that are closed, chests, barrels, things like that. Most everything has a layer of dust on it, but there are some spots that have small scratches and nicks and dings, and there are spots where it appears that a tail has swept through the dust. But this area appears to be mostly undisturbed.
Is there anything in here, Mr. Scratch, that you could use?
I hadn't even thought about looking. I begin to look.
All right. Go ahead and roll me an investigation.
As soon as I find where my little invisible token is, I think, yep, he's under the gorilla. Let me move over there, put the gorilla back.
Just a hand of God just picks up the gorilla.
I was just imagining the kobold just moving the gorilla and putting it right back.
Let me just pick this up and set it here.
I'm just like.
Thanks for the sub.
Looking a little uncomfortable as my entire body is moved.
Thank you for the sub. By the way.
Woot woot.
Nope. We don't suffer that. We
No,
don't
we're not-
suffer
we're not-
that at all.
We're not suffering with that.
Boom.
So at first scratch, you don't really see anything that appears to be anything useful. It just kind of looks like a whole bunch of nothing.
Dust in my
then-
eyes.
Dust in your eyes, because there's a lot of dust. And it kind of looks like some of these spots have been picked through, but you do find some different mechanical parts that could be useful. You do find.
Sorry, chat was saying we need a sound effect for Flash of Genius.
Oh, that would be a good one. But yes, you find some mechanical parts. You find what appears to be the original version of the puzzle you had just completed. And you can see more of the mechanical underworkings of it and how the three statues are all connected.
Say
You
that.
find. Oh, go ahead.
Say that one more time, please.
So you find essentially a prototype of the sword, spear, and axe puzzle,
Okay.
and how the three of them are connected, and how when one turns and locks into a position, it activates one mechanism. But if it turns in the other way, it activates a different mechanism.
Ah. Well, looks like one way was the right way and the other way was certain death. I
What,
say for
really?
effect.
You all were gonna die? Like, and I didn't know that I was sending you to your death?
I feel like I need to dispute that last claim, considering we did goof up the first attempt.
Oh, that makes
Roar.
The gorilla
You
agrees.
guys hear me?
I'm just trying to
yes,
boost everybody's spirits. That's what a captain does. You know, we survived. That means we picked the right way. Yay! But y'all ruined it now.
I
think that would
I
have been
think-
my spirit at all.
think either Augie or Masaru need to have a talk with you about morale, Captain.
You know, if this had been a cobalt trap, we all would have been dead from the get-go.
The beatings will continue until morale improves.
I mean, technically, wasn't it like a cobalt trap?
Just because it's in a place where there are kobolds doesn't mean the kobolds built it. It's a little complicated. I mean, the statues are kind of...
But isn't he saying that they built them in the name of blah, 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 blah?
I'm not sure I believe him.
They are just taking credit.
Oh.
We're
makes
very good at deadly things, but not very good at artistic pieces of stone.
What if they just built the underneath part?
You, Brutus is gonna pipe up and say, "You mean people would just lie about what they did?"
It happens all the time.
Ask your dad.
Talk to the politicians.
That's timely and accurate.
Well, anyway,
Oh, potions.
moving on. What else? Let me just... And then rumble through a few bottles to make noise. Anything to fill the awkward silence.
How tall is this box? Or crate?
Which one?
This crate right here, this 10-foot, almost 11-foot long crate.
That crate is about Scratch's height.
Okay, so most normal sized people could see whatever this bag is.
What's the bag?
Does somebody want to investigate it?
I already
I mean,
investigated something.
I was assuming the person asking about the hat was gonna finish up that.
When it's pointed out, I would reach down with my massive ape hands to try and pick it up.
Nope, they're tiny. I already said it.
No, the tiny thing in my massive ape hands. It makes sense in my head.
Roll me dexterity.
With the ape.
Yeah.
I get increasingly frustrated as I'm not able to pick it up.
Yeah, no, you are not able to pick it up. There's also a whole bunch of people in your way because you are all kind of crammed into this space. So you're not really able to get around to try to maneuver it with the delicate precision you would need.
There is absolutely no way I can fix this situation.
Can I have Halstrom grab whatever it is with the mechadendrite?
You can have him try. You can have him roll me dexterity.
Ah, yes, his best ability.
Do you want me to fix it?
This is a very slippery bag.
Just roll. Yeah, you're able to pick it up pretty easily. It's a satchel that appears to be very old. It kind of looks like it was just tossed on top of the crate as somebody was walking past. The leather on it is very worn. It's very old. It's in surprisingly good condition for the age it appears to be, but it definitely feels very brittle as you pick it up with the mechadendrite.
Perhaps we should handle this thing with care. It is very, very old.
Well, like, is it important or is it just an empty bag?
I will open the bag with my non-mechadendrites.
All right.
I swear to God, if powder comes out of it.
Powder's not going to come out of it unless it's like dust and moths.
How old is it?
Anthrax attack.
Yieldy anthrax.
Yeah.
So inside the bag appears to be more papers and more documents. These are in a little bit worse condition than the other ones you've seen. These appear to have some crunched up corners. Are you going to flip through them or are you just kind of pulling things out?
I'm gonna try to carefully go through them with how my metal hands would allow me to be as careful as I can.
Okay. Roll me another dex.
Had the wrong character. Ooh, big numbers. Middle numbers.
Some of the papers start to crumble in your fingers, but you are being very as delicate as you can be. Some of the writing is faded. You're not quite able to make out what it says. And it appears to be more scribblings, more notes. They look like a different hand than you've seen before. But it looks similar. It could be a younger, older, different person. You're not 100% sure.
That be the apprentice?
These could be student notes for all we know.
We're not down here for notes, though.
Information's information, isn't it, Cap?
I mean, that's kind of a... People say that, but, I could find the information of, what kind of toenail fungus the dragon has, and it really wouldn't matter.
We don't take this with us, and it could have the one piece of information that you've always wanted to know. But you'll never know, because you didn't take it with you.
Fine, put it in the bag.
This is a white fuzzy gloves and tweezers kind of project.
Why the gloves?
Oils from your hands mess up the paper.
Scratch looks down at his scaly fingers.
And well, you've got, a little bit of a rougher texture on your phalanges.
He just stares at Aki for a minute. No response to that, just stares.
Preservation of books and documents is very important.
Okay. Okay, Augie. Where do we go from here?
Well, there's a door.
I would-
there.
Yeah, I would imagine we'd go through that door.
To the
He
door!
turns around, looks at the door, shakes his head.
Gonna try to squeeze past the big ape.
Okay. Is Haustrom the one taking care of packing up the documents?
Yes.
Okay. Very good.
Apelin! Door! Break!
Or
I'm gonna move up to the door, reaching over the rogue, look down at it, kind of try and turn the doorknob first.
Give me dexterity.
Kyrios pushes himself up against the wall as far as he can to give room.
Yeah, because there's a whole bunch of people right there too.
and that's a whole lot of ape.
No.
Can I have advantage?
No.
No.
I'm not even gonna flash him genius yet. It's not worth it.
No, you are definitely not able to open this door.
Can that?
I get mad and rip it.
Which is what I asked him to do in the first place.
Okay. So how are you trying to grab this door to be able to rip it off the hinges?
Punch through, grab remains of door, open.
Okay. How many people are standing around you?
Enough that there's collateral damage.
Yep. Okay. Very good.
That's why I stayed far away.
I was going to try to open the door.
So, yes. So you punch your fist through this door, and you manage to punch a hole in it. And on the other side, you see in another door, and you also start hearing a loud, almost like an alarm sound coming from inside this room. And you all hear resonating in your heads the voice of Zypher. He sounds different, though. He sounds different. He sounds younger, not quite as jaded as when you'd met him last, and definitely seems a little more deranged than when you'd last met. And you hear the voice booming through your minds as it demands to know why you have dared violate his hospitality and what you plan to do to rectify it.
I love it.
A big ape just points at the small kobold.
Small kobold just says, "Good boy."
Is this like some kind of alarm in our head, or some kind of like echo of Lord
So
Zephyr?
the alarm itself is echoing around you. The voice of Zephyr you hear in your head.
So, like in my head, I could reply, technically, you sent us here, and we're just trying to do the mission that you wanted us to do, but we didn't get a key for this door. Our apologies.
Augie, roll me a wisdom save.
Oh no. Do you remember that time I was alive?
It was a great
No.
time.
Me neither.
I
Oh,
mean,
what's that?
holy shit.
Okay. So, Augie, you feel necromantic energy trying to press into your mind, but you're able to steel yourself with your faith, and you know that Palor will protect you, and you're able to push off this feeling, this cold, foreboding feeling of fear and despair, and you're able to stand strong as it tries to pry further into your mind.
That's just rude. Just because we didn't ask permission to open your door doesn't mean you can't ask permission to open my brain.
So you all hear the voice again in your minds. Visitors, check to see if the door is open before you try breaking them down. Now explain to me why you have entered my castle.
Because we need to stop your boy.
Accurate.
So the alarm gets a little softer. It's still very loud and still very piercing and screeching in your ears, but it's not as loud as it was. And you all feel a chill as Mini Zephyr kind of comes over and had been hovering by Rain. He just kind of comes over and he comes over and he's facing Augie, because that was the last person that this voice had spoken to directly. And he looks at you, Augie, and you hear the voice of Zephyr that you recognize. And he lets out a long sigh. And he just... You know, the door wasn't locked.
Monkey
Hey,
tried.
That was between Captain and the ape.
You're the most recent one that this fragment of myself has spoken to. You're the one I have the closest connection to at the moment.
Ugh.
And point me at the captain.
There. Rotate, rotate.
Rotate, rotate.
Scratch. This little tiny spectral form of Zephyr comes over and hovers in front of you. And he's giving you a look like a disappointed parent.
Scratch would have no idea what that looks like.
He's giving you a
like
look
that
like
all
a
the
disappointed
time.
Augie.
Oh, disappointed Augie.
I definitely look at you like that at least 10 times a day.
Hey, Monkey tried. Monkey couldn't get it open.
Did you have anyone else try the door handle?
I have all the faith in the world with every member of my crew.
Yure's gonna speak up. I was about to attempt to.
Just look at your glare.
Captain, I allowed you access to my castle as guests. I know it's not exactly the most welcoming location around. I do expect you to treat what was my home with at least a little more respect than walking around and having giant apes punch through my doors.
If I could interject for a second here,
He looks over at you.
I think the issue is the ape in the room, and the fact that he really doesn't need to be one anymore. But apparently, he lacks the humanity and sense of self to drop his spell. Mini Cypher feeds on magic, right? Do you think you could do something with that?
I have already addressed that in chat. I was rolling intelligence checks to see if I would have the idea to not be an ape anymore.
I kind of feel like you'd need to get with your DM on this to make sure that you are passing the checks.
A 16 seems high enough.
Seems high enough, doesn't mean it is. It is in this instance, but if you're going to be rolling checks, I do need you to be letting me know what you're rolling because I do have tables for stuff.
It's a character decision.
Well, yeah, and what's typed in chat, people on Twitch can't really see, so I always assume it's not actually what's going on.
Okay.
But yeah, so you, as Rain and Mini Zypher having this discussion, Lachlan, you do shrink back down, and Mini Zypher is glaring at you quite aggressively.
Interjecting the interjection. As stated before when we came down here, we did ask if there was traps that could be turned off, and you failed to inform us of your lovely little companions.
What companions?
Kobolds?
What kobolds? You're the only kobold that's been in my castle in the last 2,000 years.
I hate to burst your
Are
bubble.
you sure about that?
There was one in this room not 10 minutes ago.
It's like this whole time.
And I think we killed 2 others.
And we
That-
definitely scared a bunch away.
They're here worshipping some kind of dark dragon thing.
So for anyone that speaks Undercommon, you start hearing very, very enthusiastic swearing.
Enthusiastic swearing, huh?
Enthusiastic swearing.
Well, I haven't heard that word in a while.
Swear.
It's a new one to add to the list.
Everybody who doesn't speak Undercommon, you know what's being said. Like, it's not hard to translate.
No, it's definitely the dolphin sounds from SpongeBob.
What is this SpongeBob?
Oh, it's a ye old tale that my mammy and pappy told to me.
Sponge Robert.
Absorbent Robert.
Yeah, well, in the crick, we never say Robert. That's just too many syllables, so it's Bob.
You and I will have to have a discussion about what you classify as, and he brings his hands up to do like air quotes, ye old tales, when you get back. For now, though, if there is something in there, and if it's the thing I think it is, I suppose, provided a few things happen, I suppose I would theoretically owe the lot of you an apology, but I have confidence in your abilities. I'm not too concerned. But just keep your wits about you, keep your head sharp, and please don't break any more of my doors. Most of them are unlocked unless you have to solve the puzzle.
So whatever this dark dragon thing is, judging by your colorful language, does that mean we should eliminate it?
If you can, I would prefer you don't, but I don't know if he's going to be willing to talk. For now, just at least get to the vault and see if you can convince him to not do whatever it is that he's planning. Not whatever it is you're planning. You're planning things, but I don't particularly care. Just try to convince him to not do whatever it is he's doing and just not do whatever it is he's doing. I don't have any other ways to describe it. Just, if you have to kill him, but preferably don't.
Does he have a name?
What exactly can you tell us about him? Because currently all the kobolds that are here think that he's Augie.
Mini Zypher looks back over at Augie. Looks at Scratch. Looks at Augie. No. I would have thought kobolds were smarter. I didn't think you were the exception. I thought you were the rule.
I will accept that compliment.
Yes, so his name is Vermithrax. And he's a red dragon hatchling that I had rescued a long time ago, who opted to claim my vault as his hoard. I was fine with this, I didn't really care. As he started to get a little older, he started to change and things, as any young dragon does. At least I would assume. He became more obsessed with the idea of ruling the world. What is it with teenagers and ruling the world?
Do I know anything
You're
about...
just gonna give Zypher a pointed look.
Ignoring you.
I never tried to take over the world when I was a teenager. I only attempted to cure death.
So I said Yurei is looking at Zypher.
Yeah. Mini Zypher is now staring at Laughlin.
Do I know anything about a Vermithrax?
Roll me a history check.
Do I get advantage because I specialize in dragon?
I will give you a +2, but I won't give you advantage.
Okay. History check?
Yeah.
It's not worth it.
Not worth it?
Nah, it's not worth it.
So-
+2 is a 13.
Yep. You have heard the name Vermithrax before, but it was Vermithrax the Dark, Vermithrax the Shadow, Vermithrax the Unknown. Very much this was a dragon that was kind of used almost like a boogeyman.
Better, I
If
love
you don't-
dark.
If you don't behave, Vermithrax will come and take you. But the type of dragon that Vermithrax was never seemed to stay consistent. All that seemed to stay consistent was he was evil, and he would come and steal people away in the middle of the night and leave their bones behind.
In the dark of the night, he will find her.
Find her. I don't know if anyone else has heard the wonderful fairy tales of
Vermithrax the Shadow, but takes bad little children and people and leaves just their bones, and it's rather enthralling to think of such a large dragon and meeting a legend.
That's odd. Like, you're so good with it eating children and leaving bones that you're like, boy, howdy, can't wait to meet him.
Well, I mean, every kind of fairy tale story legend thing is always exaggerated for effect. I mean, I'm sure there's nothing quite like that.
Secretly hopes it is.
What if... Mr. Scratch?
Huh?
But what if it's not? Oh,
Oh. Oh well, chance to get more dragon scale.
I don't
We
know
are
much.
trying to not kill it.
It's preferably, but again, if you have to kill him, but
Okay, we'll try not to break any more doors.
I do appreciate that. Now, anything else I can answer for you before I leave and leave you all to your wanderings?
Looks around the room.
Yeah. What are the next couple of rooms like? Do you remember?
He just kind of smiles and just kind of, if I told you that, I'd ruin all the fun, wouldn't I?
Oh, naturally.
Boy.
And then Mini Zypher just kind of floats back over to Rain and just kind of, as if there was an invisible chair, just kind of plops down into an invisible chair above her head.
Cute.
Maybe fun means something different where he's from.
No, fun means watching our torment.
Shall we go? Anybody need to prepare anything before we leave this room?
I would like to snoop on the colorful shelves over there, just to take a look. Do I find anything interesting?
Where are you checking? Over there. Okay. Roll me investigation.
I did. Sorry.
Oh, there it is. It took a second to pop in. You find some dusty potion bottles.
Are they
Yeah.
empty? Are they empty, or do they have contents?
You can't tell because the layer of dust and grime on them is so thick, they're almost completely brown.
Okay, I grab them anyway.
Okay. Alright, anybody else want to check anything else? Investigate anything else?
No, I think I'm good.
Both my characters are good.
Yeah,
I am,
Augie just goes back to being Augie.
and I'm no longer invisible. Slip by Lachlan.
Alright.
Do we want to be stealthy as we keep traversing these rooms?
I don't think it could hurt.
I will cast Pass Without Trace.
Alright.
I'm just gonna touch my breastplate and just cast light.
That's 60.
Everybody is within 30 feet of me, so everybody should get it.
Light is 60 feet, right?
Light is. I'll just link it.
Then we're not stealthing if we got light like that.
Well, it's easier to stealth when you can see where you're going.
But you are also
True.
a big beacon.
At least we won't make sounds.
All right.
That said, I'm going to try to open this door.
Okay. It opens very easily.
Ooh,
Not even
starlight.
this tweak.
I put the torch icon on the wrong layer.
I'd just like to look at these statues for a second.
Okay. So the statues are of similar armor to what you had seen before, but instead of holding weapons, they appear to be cupping some of the same purple stones you'd seen before.
Can you remind me where we saw the purple stones?
Way at the beginning, in the very first area that you were at, when you had the puzzle to get in.
Ah, right, yes. Are they cut in any specific way, or are they uncut?
Nope, they're uncut.
Interesting.
Natural.
Elstrom is enamored by the mechanism.
We will get to the mechanism when everyone is in the room.
Waiting on Brutus.
Doo-doo-doo.
It's giving off light.
It is, in fact, glowing.
And I put the light on the wrong layer.
I mean, I can
It's-
fix that.
Yes. So as everyone makes their way into the room, you see a golden, brassy display that seems to be slowly revolving around one central point, one central sphere, with various other spheres and cables and arms and loops and rings all attached to it. And the system, the mechanism appears to be turning and spinning and revolving very slowly. And projecting out around all of you is a collection of light points twinkling in the bright area. These points of light almost look like individual casts of some sort of fairy fire effect.
I want to look and see if there's like a readout or a dated dial or something on the device.
Okay. So as you approach it, Scratch, you start to feel a little bit of warmth coming off of this front part, and you notice a small placard that has an engraving written on it. To Raylith, my twin in all the ways.
It's not what I was hoping to find, but apparently this was some kind of gift.
Any clue as to the nature? Any runes, markings? Looks like it's got planet.
I'll keep looking.
All right, go ahead and give me an investigation.
And a boop.
All right. Yes. So as you investigate Scratch, you find a small compartment that was almost sitting flush with the rest of it as you're running kind of your paws over it. You manage to feel it. And as you open the compartment, there's another brass piece inside which has a diagram that shows the planets or these spheres or these stars or whatever they are lined up in a particular order.
Does it have a specific date or anything?
Nope. Excuse me. It does not have a date, but you do notice that one of the points, the point in the center, doesn't appear to have moved, but it looks like there are, much like with the three statues, it looks like you can manipulate this device as long as you're careful.
Do we have any clues as to what their birthday is?
Have I read about a birthday in the journals? Like anything like, oh, it's my sister's birthday today, and I don't know.
Literally our birthday.
And I don't know what to get them.
It's my sister's birthday and I don't know what to get her. So Augie, you call out to Mini Zypher, and he just kind of looks up from the chair the invisible chair he'd been sitting in, and just kind of, I'm tired.
Oh, that's yeah.
Fucking unhelpful.
Is the journal that I purloined dated?
It is not. So none of the journals you guys have found have had any sort of dates on them, except occasionally there'll be scribblings about how much time has passed, but nothing specifically with a date.
So he doesn't date his entries?
Nope.
Okay.
Lachlan, go ahead and roll history.
Rolling history. Hot diggity dog.
Nice.
So you don't know what the contraption itself is, but it does appear to be some kind of calendar.
Is it of our star system or a different one?
You have no idea.
I've seen something similar to this before, but this one is confusing. It's definitely a calendar of some sort.
Oh, what would be important dates to them?
Other than the birthday?
Date. The date when they first rose to power?
Any other kind of information that we could gather? Someone give me a rundown on their early story, that maybe if somebody talks it out loud we could pick out important dates.
I tell the general story that I can't remember right now.
So, Scratch, you would tell the tale that you guys had learned of Cypher and Raylith growing up before Raylith had transitioned to Rylan. And you would have told about what Zypher had told you about his ambitions, about how he would want, he wanted to unite everything, and how finally uniting the Underdark was a really big step, and how finally starting to progress into exploring the surface, and how that went poorly, and just the general, you'd be able to tell that. Excuse me. I'm very sorry. I appear to have something caught in my throat. I'll be just a moment.
Oh shoot.
I thought you were going to put on waiting music for a split second there.
Do we know what date the Underdark united? Do you think?
I would assume that none of us here is an expert on the Underdark history. But whenever the DM comes back, I would like to investigate this wall of whatever the heck this is.
Sorry about that.
Oh no, how dare.
I usually have the phone on silent, but
All right, I am back. I'm sorry about that, everyone.
Glad you didn't die.
Yes, no death has been had. I passed my death saves. My DM didn't let me know what my death saves were, but all he told me is I passed, so that's all that counts. But yeah, so Scratch, you told this story, and there's no dates that have been mentioned in anything that you remember. Zypher has never once mentioned a particular date, and has never once mentioned and none of his journals have any particular actual dates assigned to anything.
So yeah, and that was the weird thing about it, you know, even though all that stuff happened, I don't really know what the timeline is, because every time there's an entry, it doesn't say, like, oh, dear diary, day, month, year, drow, I don't know.
I would like to investigate this wall of something.
Okay. You find different scrolls that you are able to read have different dates on them. They are not scrolls. I'm sorry. They're cylinders. They're small brass cylinders that you're able to read have various dates on them. Nothing is labeled. Nothing has any names or anything written on them. They just have the dates.
And if I turn around, is there a receptacle for something that seems like a cylinder might go in it on the mechanism somewhere?
Not that you can see very obviously. This is a very strange, bizarre mechanical device. It doesn't really seem to lend itself to any sort of natural, easy openings.
Well, I would like to call out to the captain, and probably Hallstrom, to say that, or to ask if there's any, like, place you can slot something into.
An excellent question. Give me a moment to analyze this archaeotech.
Can you open it? Like, is it directions on which way the machine would align to that specific date?
Well, okay, I have a theory. See, over here on this shelf, rack, whatever it is, there's a bunch of cylinders that match the machine, whatever it is, with dates on them. So my theory is you plug one in, and it sets it to that date. Seems like a solid theory.
Right. But do we even know what we need the machine to do?
I would guess match whatever configuration we were trying to guess the date for.
While assisting Halstrom, I want to look around on the walls. Are there any like markings that show where the certain lights / stars should be placed?
Roll me investigation. And you said you're assisting Halstrom as well?
Yeah, Halstrom was going to use his mechanics tools to analyze the machine.
Okay, so Halstrom, give me that. And Scratch, are you investigating the walls of the chamber or the walls of the device?
The device has walls?
Well, you know, like if there's a cylindrical portion, it would have a wall around it.
Well, I'm looking more to because like the lights are being projected onto the walls, correct?
Yes.
I want to see if there's any like spaces on the walls that indicate like the proper place that the light should be.
Oh, okay. I'm less confused. Yeah, go ahead, give me an investigation for that.
While they're rolling that, and you can get to me after. Augie is contemplating all the things that Rylan said, and Riley said, and like what was in his house. So like, was there any cross stitch pillows? Like any particular photos? Because
I have an idea.
Augie real nosy,
Right.
especially if it's a hot drow.
So, I have a suggestion. You guys can shout it down if you like. I can just ask Rylan. I have the sending spell.
I mean,
Or we, have the diagram.
Does the sending spell work if you're underground?
It's
Yeah,
not
Yeah,
bound
it
by,
has,
As long as you're on the same plane.
It's not even that.
and even if you're on different planes, it only has a chance to fail.
Well, I mean, if you guys want to, go for it. I won't make any decisions that way. But I do want to get with what Halstrom has found, though, before we get too
Okay.
far down any rabbit holes. So, Halstrom, with your 17, this is a strange mechanical device. It appears both very, very old, but very, very new all at the same time, as if something has been tending this and keeping it well oiled. It doesn't appear to have had any issues or breakages. It takes you a minute of searching, but you are in fact able to find a small slot on the side where a cylinder would go.
I have located where the cylinders can be inserted.
Excellent. I'm just gonna gather a bunch up in my arms and carry them over.
Okay. Scratch, as you're investigating the walls, you do notice that there are, in fact, small dimples in the walls.
Okay. Yeah, it looks like those lights have to be in specific areas. If you guys want to
Please.
try... Sorry, Tamsin. Let me just finish the thought real quick. If you guys want to try to put in the different things, maybe me and Lachlan and a couple others can watch to see which stars change and when they get in the right positions.
My thought as a player is please do not let that mean that the lights are actually lasers that will harm us and have caused actual divots in the wall.
Oh no! So they've been moving at this point, and like occasionally one would have passed over you, and nothing would have happened. They're just
Cool.
yeah. No, they've been moving as things have been happening.
So how many of these things would I have been able to carry? I don't know how many there are.
So there's a lot. There's several hundred here, and they're decently hefty because they do appear to be solid brass. And so you're able to carry. What's your strength?
I'm not very strong. I have a strength of 11.
Oh, very good. So you're able to carry about 5 or 6.
Better than I was expecting. Okay.
I mean, I can take it down
That's-
to 3 if you like. No, they're small enough that you can carry. They're decently easy to carry just based on size alone, but they are heavy.
Yeah. So I'll probably make several trips over to Hellstrom.
Would you like some assistance, Rain?
Sure.
Yurei will help him. Will help her.
All right.
Same strength.
Same strength. So yeah, you're able to carry 5 or 6 at a time.
I have a dumb question.
Yeah.
Can I extend? Because my hand can extend to be like a grappling hook. Can I extend it to wrap a bunch together?
You can, but you're not going to be able to carry them without help.
But he could drag them.
I can. I can drag them.
You're gonna risk damaging them, but sure.
This seems like strong brass.
Don't know what the floor is made out of. The floor is made of floor, but you don't have any specifics.
As opposed to
Lord,
weak
it's
Made of
brass.
floor.
I'm sorry, what was that, Scratch?
I said as opposed to weak brass.
Yes. Well, I suppose it could be, brittle. Maybe it wasn't hardened correctly.
I'm just gonna say we should probably just make multiple trips, and eventually Hellstrom will have a gigantic pile of brass cylinders next to him.
When you go to put the brass cylinders down on the ground, I'm going to take my cloak off and lie it down so that it isn't touching the floor that's made of floor.
Good idea.
Can I have Hellstrom roll something to understand these lights?
You can give me a nature check. Because if it's the thing I think you're thinking, you're going to need a real high roll.
No.
Nope.
No, not at all.
Not a clue.
He's too distracted by the machinery.
Not a damn idea.
These lights are inconsequential. The machinery is more important. My hypothesis does not matter at the moment.
This can be figured out later.
Yes, well, a few trips back and forth with the tubes.
Okay.
Are
Yes.
these lights similar to the configuration of constellations in our night sky?
Nope. You have never seen this pattern of lights before.
I would say we should put Scratch on Salt's shoulders, or whoever's tall, so that he can keep an eye out for the configuration in the diagram that he found.
Well, how tall is Salt?
Hold on, let me see.
Taller than Scratch.
Not a hard thing to do.
I believe Salt is 5 foot.
Oh, then
Wait, no.
Probably
How tall I have to ask because I never got an answer. How tall is um uh where is it? Um ah, shit. Memory business cards. Calceron. How tall is Calceron? Because it's modeled to look like Calceron.
Okay. Calceron is about 6.5 feet tall. 6.5, 7 feet tall, somewhere in there.
He's
We'll
taller
say
than I thought.
six. We'll say 6'8". We'll split the difference. Say 6'8".
So the question is, who's taller, Salt or Augie?
I'm like 7 feet tall, but Maneo's taller than I am.
Maneo is not currently here.
Oh. Then I
Dun,
would
dun, dun.
be just a little bit taller than Salt.
We have done a very, very minor retcon in which Maneo never came into the dungeon with you.
Got it.
Anything special about these tubes, by the way?
Well, I'm curious about about who we're stacking Scratch on top of.
I mean, that's probably up to him and whoever he's being stacked on top of.
Captain, can't you fly?
Yeah, but I was wanting to see where this was going.
This Halstrom tinkering the machine looks up and goes, "You are trying to stack the captain, but he can fly."
I grab the corners of the cloak and lift them up like, like a 5-year-old does wings. And I just float up into the air.
So you're Alvin and the Chipmunks when they do the Batman episode.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what it looks like.
Beautiful.
But yes. So the cylinders you were asking what the cylinders look like?
Yes, if there's anything unique about each one.
Yes, they have a different collection of symbols inscribed on them with a collection of what appear to be holes and bumps.
And Rain has informed you that the symbols are dates.
Excellent. We're gonna put a random one in, see how what happens.
Okay.
Well, actually, we're gonna analyze what the date is.
Okay.
Do we need to roll anything?
Maybe like a history check if I read it out to you.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. You're gonna have to give a history. This is gonna be a little bit of an interesting twofold thing because Rain is gonna have to read you the dates for Halstrom to analyze. So that'll be history. Yeah, we'll go history.
History for Halstrom?
Yeah.
Not a good roll day for Halstrom.
You recognize that these dates are probably significant, but you don't know enough about this world to really try to figure out what they could be specifically in reference to. These dates don't match anything that you directly recognize.
But I have Yurei analyze the dates since the drow kind of interest his family.
Interest his family. That's how we'll describe it.
Yes, that's how we'll describe it.
All right. Go for it. Have Yude. Okay. Yeah, so Yude, these dates make a little more sense to you. Again, these are some of these match up with great events in world history. Some you've read about in books, some happen directly with your family, some you've been told stories about.
Are there any that stand out, like in relation to the Kalzalas and the history of Dark Lord Zypher?
There are 4 that stand out. There's one that is simply called the Fall, that you recognize, that you've heard stories about, and it is the supposed date that Dark Lord Zypher died or disappeared.
That's you guys gonna make to save that one for last.
There's one that seems to coincide with the rough timeline of what you would know as the rise of Mad King Zypher. There's one that's even older that seems to relate to what you would assume to be the rise of the unified Drow kingdom. And there's one that's even older than that. And it appears to be the oldest one in this chamber.
Magos, if you do not mind, try going with this date. He points to the oldest one.
Okay. I assume Hellstrom puts it in the thing.
Yep. We will see if your judgment is good.
So, Hellstrom, you slot the thing in, and it slides in easily. And the machine stills for a moment before slowly starting to turn backwards. And as you all watch, the machine gets quicker and quicker and quicker and quicker until it finally stills. And Scratch, as you're watching some of the divots, the lights and the stars all line up perfectly with the little indents and bumps on the walls.
Ah, stop it. Right there. Right there. That's it. That's it. Slow it down.
Oh,
It stopped.
Does it match the diagram?
mm-hmm. Matches the diagram perfectly. And as you all are
Cat.
watching,
Casually fist bumps Yurei.
you all hear
He reciprocates.
a hiss as a small chamber opens and a small multicolored ball pops out and rests on the floor in front of you. Or in front of the machine, anyway.
Mine, please.
You have been the one holding on to these artifacts, so it is only fair that you keep them together.
Yeah, I figured that they're probably useful for something other than opening whatever celestial lock or, magical bullshit that's keeping the dragon from wreaking whatever havoc he wants to. So,
Perhaps we can analyze them after this adventure.
So, Rain, you pick up the last one.
Yep.
And you feel a rush inside you. And your magic feels different for a moment before you feel the fire inside you whoosh, and then it dies down again.
oh, I'm not sure I like that. It was a rush.
What happened?
I don't know, some magical bullshit. We'll figure it out once we're out of here.
Scratch slowly coasts back down to the ground.
Everybody roll a perception for me.
I like perception.
I'm very good at perception with Yurei.
Yeah, apparently it's liking all of us today.
Even Halstrom.
Roll 20 is being very slow for me. Give me just a second.
No worries.
You're good. I mean, oh no, how dare.
And then there's Kyrius.
You all hear a thunk and a scraping of metal coming from over here by this door.
Which door? Ah, that door.
Who wants to check it out? Because I'll stand back here.
Last time I tried to open a door, I got a lecture from Zypher. I'm good.
That's because you
Kyrios,
tried to
your turn.
tear it off its hinges.
I'm right here. I can do it. Do I notice anything odd about this door before I open it?
Nope. It has looked like all of the other doors you've seen before.
Tink, 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 tink.
All right. I will open it.
It opens very easily.
What can I see before I walk in?
You see another empty stone chamber. You see another piece of what was that same purple stone that you would have seen before, the character would have seen. Don't worry, we know the player hasn't seen it.
I relay all of this, obviously.
Yeah, so it would be that, another empty chamber, and then that's about it. A little bit of rubble. But there doesn't appear to be any danger. Nothing seems to be creeping out of the shadows.
Maybe it was locked before. No one actually tried that door before we started messing with the thing.
We don't try doors very much around here. We just assume they're all locked.
Speak for yourself. The mechanical engineering of this room was far more important. Do, 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 do.
But yeah, as you all file into the hallway, it's got a little bit of light, but otherwise it's just a broken down, crumbling hallway in a very similar state of ruin to the rest of the castle you've seen so far.
More crystals.
More of the same purple ones that you'd seen before.
I'd like to reach out and touch one of the purple crystals to see if I get the same sensation of the flow of arcane energy that I got from the crystals we found in the first cave.
Okay. You touch it and it's warm.
Just warm?
Just warm. It's not like hot, but it's definitely one of those. It's a little warmer than you were expecting, but yeah, it's just warm. No sense of arcane power.
Ah, I see. It is around 35 to 50 degrees.
Is that important?
No. I was wondering if they were the same crystals that we came across earlier. They're not. Or if they are, then their natural arcane energy is being channeled into creating light and warmth.
Ah. Okay.
Why are there so many useless doors?
It's a method for making sure that you can heat the important parts of the castle without distribution of the heat through areas that is not needed. You don't need to heat the hallways because you can just wear a coat moving from room to room, but you do need to heat your workshop and your bedroom.
I'm gonna. First off, thank you. Second, that was a rhetorical question. but now
a light stop.
I know so much more.
So I'm
Full
guessing this.
historical context. Sorry,
Love
go
it.
ahead.
So I'm guessing this door up here is unlocked.
Yes. Considering Yurei went right through it, didn't bother telling it.
Right.
You were all talking.
You still gotta tell people what you're doing, even if it's
what if
me.
walked in and it was like a pit of vipers or like a fire sphere fell from the ceiling?
Or just
And it
no
would-
floor.
Right.
Or a very complex-looking magic circle. Jesus.
Uh-huh.
Or a mummy lord. Imagine if you just opened the door and
To a fucking mummy lord.
never living that down.
Ever.
I'm looking for the exciting room. I hear there's a pit of alligators there.
It's very
Lachlan's gonna look at the tiefling and say, I think we found where your balls are supposed to go.
But is there an order?
Yeah, I don't think that's where they're gonna go. I think I'm gonna keep them. Yeah.
What are we looking at, dear describer of all things?
So you are currently standing in a room with a slightly sunken in chamber, not a chamber, but a slightly sunken in portion of the room with a collection of strange glowing orbs in them. These orbs are much larger than the other ones that you had seen before. And the glow on the purple runes pulses very slightly. And it appears that they are each of the orbs that you can see that has been placed into a slot is swirling and churning with color, and you can all feel the magic pulsing off of these things.
Question.
Mm-hmm.
Can I read the parts of the spell that are written?
Yes. So, what you can read is this is a puzzle that essentially this is the main locking mechanism of the entire castle. From what you can read, this is this is the lock to end all locks. This is the be all end all. You find the right key for this door, everything opens, but much fancier and more convoluted.
I'm gonna read it out loud to the group.
Okay.
And I'm gonna guess that it's also the door to wherever Vermithrax is trapped.
It doesn't say that specifically, but it says the key of the lock of the door of doors.
Yeah. I'm just gonna reach up and poke Mini Cypher.
He just kind of, I'm awake.
Feed him just a little bit of magic.
Kind of perks up a little bit.
Hey, so this isn't what sets free the dragon dude, is it?
And he just kind of hovers over. And as he crosses the purple barrier, he vanishes.
Oh, joy.
You too.
Okay, quick tangent. Yes, Lachlan, you're casting Detect Magic.
Yes. What? Am I able to? You can learn at School of Magic. What School of Magic is this?
That's a good question. It should be Abjuration.
abjuration affecting the world by adding things, by channeling energy from other planes. Is that correct?
Mm-hmm. It's the lock of the door of doors, after all.
Makes sense to me.
So there's no conjuration magic. It's not transporting to a different plane.
Nope, just abjuration.
I share this with the party.
So, what happened to Mini Cypher?
He is made of magic. It's possible that it is a field that's designed to block magical beings from crossing.
It could, or it could just negate magic altogether.
Or
Let's
Zephyr
test.
does an answer to it, and Zephyr can just go on their merry way.
I'm gonna toss a firebolt just across the room. No particular target or damage intended. I'm just gonna lob a handful of fire across the room.
Just casting it right over Scratch's head.
Yeah, he's short enough. I'm not gonna hit him.
Let's launch a fireball. No damage intended.
We could always use prestidigitation or mage hand.
Nah. Yeah, I'm just gonna throw it like right over the circle.
Very good. As you cast it, this sphere right here glows brightly and appears to absorb your firebolt.
Which sphere?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't see you.
You're not pinging.
Ping.
Am I not? Oh, I. Clearly I am. Clearly everyone's just blind, and I'm absolutely
Aha.
definitely not pinging on the wrong layer.
Yes.
Nobody
So
has
the
any
red
proof.
one.
Yes.
Okay, well that
would I be able
concludes
to-
our test.
Good luck.
So yeah, we're concluding anti-magic field then.
Well, my hypothesis from that test is that each one of these orbs stands for a different either school of magic or elemental type of magic, and they're set to negate whatever crosses their field. I don't know.
Or you have to fill them all to open it up.
I'm going to attempt to summon Mini Zypher back.
Do you have a spell for that?
We just called out his name, didn't we?
I believe that's correct.
So you're calling out Mini Zypher. Do you remember the activation phrase?
No, but my character absolutely would. It was only a few hours for Lachlan, but a month and a half for us.
I just want to make sure y'all are paying attention. So yes, you activate, you call out the activation phrase, and oh, excuse me. And Mini Zypher appears and just kind of he appears on the floor, and he's just kind of sitting on the floor, just kind of slumped.
I'm gonna go feed him. I'm just gonna like.
Don't worry, the DM remembers the phrase.
Sympathy. I remember the phrase.
I know you remember the phrase. Yeah, so Mini Zypher just kind of appears, and you actually see him like walk around the circle, back over to you. He appears from the backside over here, and you see him walk around the circle.
That's
You
concerning.
doing okay, buddy?
He usually floats.
He just kind of like, he doesn't really pay much attention to you, Lachlan. He just kind of walks over and just sits on Rain's foot.
Yeah, I'm just gonna like cast a couple minor cantrippy things for him. To feed off of. Like control flames. Sure.
All right. Yeah, so he just kind of sits there and he slowly starts to float up again. And he just kind of comes over to you, Lachlan, and just kind of like sits on your head.
Still find you creepy, but here you go. I summon an illusory hamburger.
Illusory hamburger.
Holographic meatloaf? My favorite!
My favorite! Yeah, so he's back and you all notice that he's very different than he was before. He's not as quippy or enthusiastic, or he's not floating very well, and he just seems exhausted.
He's been getting more tired since we got through. Do you think it's a Zypher thing or a magic thing?
It might be this thing.
If this is, well, it sucked up your firebolt instead of just dispelling it like an anti-magic field would.
Yeah.
Perhaps it is feeding off the magic in the area. The bulls, we figured out that they were concentrated, basically crystalline magic, right?
DM, is there any particular skill checks or anything I could make to do an internal review and see if I can feel anything subtly siphoning magic?
Give me an Arcana first.
Okay.
So it doesn't seem to be, your magic seems to be fine. It kind of seems to be a little weird, and it seems to be kind of fluctuating, but it doesn't feel like that whatever this field is siphoning away your magic. It just, your magic seems to be reacting to it, but you're not really sure how. And this applies for everyone. Any of you that have innate magic, you can kind of feel it shifting and twisting, and it's agitated. But it doesn't feel like it's being siphoned away.
Let's see. In the meantime, Yurei's gonna go check on that plaque. Keeping his distance from the circle.
Very good.
Lachlan's kind of glancing at the circle like, I really want to know.
If you want to be the guinea pig, be my guess.
Maybe if I put my hand in? But I'll let Masara or Yurei's thing go first.
Good night, doggy.
Hey, doggy.
Night.
Night. Dang, mister.
So, Lachlan, you put your hand, where on the circle do you put your hand?
I'm gonna stick my hand past the barrier first, just like straight out, not touching in the direction that I'm facing. So,
Okay, so you're by the
like, here.
red one. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. So you put your hand through, and you feel you feel like your magic is trying to be pulled out of your body, and small tendrils of your magic seem to be leaking out of your fingertips.
I'm gonna step back. Yeah, it's definitely sucking magic. It's more powerful the closer you get.
That's very good to know. Um, we don't have anybody that's strictly no magic here.
I'm not magic.
You're a talking dog.
I don't use magic though.
You don't use magic to talk. You don't
No.
have anything magical about you.
I don't think so. Lachlan's gonna look over and say, Brutus, we had a conversation about this. You're sustained by magic.
What about Tanzanite?
She just looks like she doesn't want to be here.
That's fair.
But no, as far as any of you know, Tanzanite has never showed any magical abilities.
Hey, this is what we talked about earlier.
If I die, I'm coming back and I'm haunting you.
Hey, I promised you I would not let that happen.
If I die, I'm haunting you.
If it's any consolation, Captain, if she dies in that circle, I don't think she'll be able to haunt.
You're not helping.
Tanzanite slowly walks over to the circle, and as she slowly steps over the barrier, nothing happens.
Aha! I knew it.
Do you feel tingly at all? Anything funny with your vision?
So, as she looks over at you, she's just kind of staring at you.
I will stare back. I don't know.
And she just kind of shrugs, and you can see that she's saying something, but you can't hear what she's saying.
Interesting. I'm just gonna gesture for her to come towards me.
She walks over towards you and gets to the edge of the barrier and cannot move any further.
Well, shit. Can I reach over and pull her?
You can sure try.
I would like to.
Okay. Are you reaching into the field, across the purple barrier, or are you trying to keep your hand out of the purple barrier?
No, I'm gonna do what Lachlan did, because he was able to stick his hand in and bring it back out.
Okay. So you stick your hand in, and you immediately feel the magic being pulled out of your body. And
sucks for my patron. The magic doesn't come from me.
Tanzanite grabs your hand.
Uh-huh.
And you pull her out?
I do my damnedest.
I'm gonna need a strength check.
Check or save?
Check. Save would be if she was pulling you back in.
Woo!
Very
Yeah,
nice.
you are able to pull her out.
Excellent. Considering I have 0 modifiers to that, that was great.
Okay, so we've ascertained that you can survive going in there. I'm going to take off my magic items.
I would not recommend that you try, however, because Tanzanite's not a caster. You are. Also, don't you have some weird apocalyptic bullshit? Better not risk it.
It's not deadly.
You literally have a magical entity bound to you. Do not.
But I'm so curious.
What happened to the cat?
That is
cat?
not a very good analogy because it has a second part that a lot of people don't know about.
Also,
Tanzanite, could
I wasn't able to get out until Rain pulled me out. Do you want to be stuck in there and maybe not be able to get out and have all your magic drained away?
Yeah, it's possible that the only reason I was able to get her out is because she's not a caster. Also, it was difficult.
could you hear us whilst you were in there?
No, I couldn't hear anything while I was in there.
Yeah, we couldn't hear you out here either. What were you trying to say?
I was trying to ask what am I supposed to do?
Well, you weren't supposed to do anything. Did you feel anything when you were in there? Any tingliness? Any vision changes? Any wooziness?
Did you were you granted an understanding of the cosmos that it parallels none other?
God, please don't say yes, otherwise he'll dive straight in.
No, I was not granted an understanding of the cosmos that parallels to none other. No, I just kind of felt like I wanted to go back to the castle.
That's fair.
Haven't you felt that the entire time?
No, this is different though. This wasn't just like me not wanting to continue to risk my neck. No, this was like I felt like it really wanted to send me back to the castle.
That makes me want to walk into it more.
Hey, underground isn't that bad.
So Captain, do we need Tanzanite as a bargaining chip at the moment?
I mean, I don't want to let her out of our sight.
What? Afraid I'm gonna turncoat and give all your secrets away?
No, it makes it very difficult to keep you alive if I can't see you.
Well, if she's in the castle.
Just to be clear, we don't know everybody who's in that castle is on our side.
But Zypher does. And Zypher's on his own side, which, honestly, I'd put a little bit more stock in than our side.
But Zypher didn't know about kobolds in here.
Okay,
He did say that it had fallen into disrepair and he hasn't really checked up on it in a while.
Yeah, he doesn't live in this one, but he lives in the other one. I guarantee you, he double, triple, and quintuple checks everyone.
I made her a promise, though.
Did she want the promise?
Scratch. You promised to keep me safe, right?
Uh-huh.
Where is going to be more safe than with my crazy, powerful uncle?
And Rain's just gonna start counting on her fingers. Great, 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 great.
nobody knows where this castle is. I mean, okay, people know where the castle is. They have trade routes. Nobody knows he's alive. You guys were able to beat Sebastian, but I don't think you'd be able to stop him. You guys have the coins that essentially has my soul copied. We probably should let Rylan know about that. He's got the map that tracks like souls and stuff.
I'm pretty sure that as soon as he sees a bunch of yous swarming all out from this area, that he's gonna catch on pretty quick.
But even so, I can let him know. Probably not today. I don't have much in the way of messaging capabilities left.
Scratch. If I go with you guys and something more powerful than whatever's come before comes and tries to get me, what if Opal comes after me? What are you gonna do?
Everything in my power to keep you safe.
Including potentially killing my own brother?
If I had to.
In front of her? I mean, I hate my brother. Don't get me wrong, but I wouldn't want anyone to kill him in front of me. And we're twins, just like they are. So if we do have to kill him, better that she not be there.
Free to not kill him at all, but think about it this way. If I'm in the castle, you know where I am. You think Zypher's gonna
We're trusting Zypher anyway.
Yeah, you think he's gonna let me out of his sight with what's going on with the apprentice? You really think he's gonna have the calm, rational thought of, yes, this is fine. I don't need to worry about this.
The way that I see it, the selfish reason, is that if he doesn't want to protect her because she's family, he'll protect her because she represents something that his enemy wants, and his enemy is a threat to himself.
I still made an oath.
Look, I really want to do this experiment, but I also...
Don't jump
This
in
thing isn't
the
giving
magic
off any
signal.
conjuration energy at the moment. No, I'm talking about sending someone else through. It's not giving it off any conjuration. It might flare up, but if there's no teleportation spell, then we don't actually know what's gonna happen.
Exactly. But
Is Mini Zypher, like, cognitive again?
He's
Cognizant?
cognizant. He's doing better. He's definitely not up to his usual perky self, but he's doing better.
Then I would suggest that we ask him without letting him go into the circle this time.
He's still sitting on Lachlan's head.
I'm just gonna be like, "Hey, buddy, how you doing? You need some more magic as like a pick me up?"
Is he nomming on the illusory cheap hamburger?
Oh, he has.
Oh, that's long gone.
That is long gone.
I would have made an illusory donut after that.
He's just kind of so you know how when kids really don't want to take a nap, but you can tell that they're really, really tired? He's kind of
Yes.
like that. He's kind of like rubbing his eyes and just kind of like trying to stay awake, but is also just like, I'm awake. I'm fine. But you can tell little dude's not doing very well.
I would like to make a silent request to you-know-who, since I probably have his attention anyway, since of the magic drain, to if he wants to get on someone, a certain someone's good side, maybe he should, like, gift a large amount of magic.
Okay. So, as you guys are kind of watching, and you've been having this silent communication, you all feel a whoosh. And Kyrius, it actually comes from up behind you. And so you kind of feel like someone has taken cold fingers up your spine. And then it just kind of settles into Mini Zypher, and he's pretty much back to normal after that.
Silent, thank you.
He just kind of like limbers himself up, kind of shakes himself out a little bit, and he floats over to Kyrius. Just kind of pats his head a couple times. And you hear coming out of Mini Zypher in regular Zypher's voice, Kyrius, "Thank you for your help," and then just floats back over to Rain.
Kyrius just squints.
You feeling better?
And he just kind of sighs, and he just kind of, "I am, and I suppose I can't keep up the idiot charade any longer."
You weren't fooling anyone.
I have a feeling I've fooled at least a couple of you. I'm rather charming, you know.
Debatable.
You're just mad I've revealed cursed knowledge for you that you can never unlearn.
Hair.
So what the hell is this thing?
He just kind of looks over it, and he just kind of shivers, and he goes, "Well, this is the lock to that is this essentially, in small words, is one of my greatest feats of magical creation. This is a magical lock that connects to all of the currently locked doors in my castle. As you have all, as I'm sure you mentioned, you found a few of them. The spears you've collected are magical conduits that, when placed in the right order in the sphere here, then it would be quite beneficial. It would be easy for you to unlock everything. Be quite easy, quite straightforward. I'm sure you're not going to have any problems with it at all. Let me know if I'm going too fast. I can try to dumb it down further. I know this can be complicated."
I
Just
swear.
arch and just arch an eyebrow at him.
Kyrius starts to raise his hand and then sees everybody else is just standing there and puts his hand back down slowly.
Oh.
It's all right if you don't understand. A magical genius like myself comes once, so.
That must be very terrible for you.
Anyways, yes, this is one of the greatest magical creations I've ever designed and created and perfected myself. I assure you, it's quite simple once you know what you're doing. Although I will understand if none of you can figure it out.
So, I'm guessing that this also releases the dragon that we were talking about.
Yes, it does open the vault. Although, whether or not it releases the dragon, slightly different story. However, at least the door will be openable.
Is there any reason we should want to go in there?
The vault is where the items that we need to retrieve are.
Is it?
It is.
Oh,
Where else am I
no.
going to keep my important magical artifacts? My bedroom, my library. Of course, I keep them in the vault.
Well, presumably you keep important magical artifacts everywhere.
I guess I won't get to keep these then. Dang it. They're actually kind of cool.
I can probably make you some sort of facsimile of them later, don't worry.
Well, it was mostly the fact that I thought they'd be useful.
An additional question, Lord Zypher. When Tanzanite stood in the circle, she felt the want to return to the castle. Would the circle have that ability?
No, it's not a teleportation circle. No. That's just a security measure. You have all come in here without hostile intentions, and so it just gives. For anyone who doesn't cast and has no ability to cast, the circle will try to siphon away your magic to replace the missing forms of magic. And once it finds nothing, it fills you with the desire to leave.
Interesting. Hello, Gibbs. You can come inside.
Come, can you come?
No, you were just checking on me? Okay. Sorry, dog distraction.
Quick, activate dog! But yes, the spell itself is just it's a fancy lock with a fancy key. What can I say?
Okay, so we open it and we go and take care of the dragon and find all the stuff that we're here to find. Sounds like a great plan. Let's do it. 3, 2, 1, go team!
Do we have all the orbs needed? How many empty slots are there?
There are
7.
7 empty slots.
I believe I have 3 orbs total.
What the hell?
Oh, and you'll want to make sure that you put them in the right spaces. I mean, it's not like if you can't just trial and error brute force your way through it, but
No, I've gotten a pretty accurate magical sense from all the orbs when I picked them up. I don't think it'll be hard.
you'll just want to make sure that everything is balanced and make sure that everything's all in the right place. You know, you can't have magic out of balance, of course.
Oh, question. Is the middle slot one of the empty ones?
Yes.
Joy. Okay, that means we need someone to go in and eventually put whatever goes there in that spot.
That one will probably be done last.
So, we solved all the puzzles thus far, right?
There are a
There's
few rooms we
doors
skipped.
in this room.
Just gonna, walk over this way and try to open this door by hand.
Door is locked.
Well, I tried. Monkey break. Wait, you're not a monkey anymore.
Technically, I am still an ape.
I have lockpicks, Captain.
Whatever happened with whatever Yuri was doing?
Good question.
Apparently the plaque says words and things.
Words and things.
Words and things? I can do words and things.
What does the plaque actually say?
Listen here, you little shit. I don't need you coming out here and attacking me like this. I didn't come here to be viscerally attacked like this. You can shut the fuck up.
No. Roll intimidation.
What's the shopkeeper's name?
Which one?
All of them.
They are all now named Mike.
Mike.
including your dear friend Opal, who was originally a shopkeeper. Congratulations, your quest
Now
is to now save Mike.
You remember good old Steve Berg?
No.
Please, not again. I can't go back. Too many goats.
The plaque, please.
I would like to read it aloud. Pray tell, what does it say, oh mighty
I hate
DM?
you. I hate you.
I love you too.
So the plaque says, pretty much, honestly, it's very similar to what Zypher had said. You need to balance the magical orbs to unlock all the doors.
Well, what's it say?
I'm going to set you on fire.
It's
that
basically
it?
what it basically says what Zypher informed us about this room.
Yeah, I would have read it aloud to everyone.
And I'm sorry, there is more. I was just drinking my water.
Okay.
Yes, so the placard continues to explain. I'm not going to read this word for word verbatim, just basically because I couldn't decide on what sounded good. They all either sounded really, really clunky or really, really pretentious. And I didn't want to make you guys suffer through that. But the plaque goes on to explain the balance of the room. You have to balance the magic. There are 9 orbs of magic. Of light, of fire, of wind, of lightning, of darkness, of earth, of ice, of water, and arcane. All coming together as one, balanced as all things should be, to unlock the lock on the door of doors.
Okay. So from what I'm understanding, it's very good that the kobolds never found any of these because they would have blown themselves up. I would like to examine which of the orbs already are filled.
Okay. So you see 2. You see the red one that you would cast a firebolt into.
Uh-huh.
And then over here, oh, and I will mention this one is in a dark black matte metal brazier. And this is the other filled one, and it is in a very, very light gray matte metal brazier. And this one that you're now closest to is a soft purpley color. And as you look at it, you can see flickers of what look like lightning.
Okay. I was expecting balance to mean that you had to find the one on the opposite side circle, but it looks like you have to have the same amount of dark ones as you do light ones.
So we're still missing some?
Well, I have 3. That means we're still missing 4.
Oh wait, we don't.
Can-
Go ahead, Kyrie.
Go ahead. No, you go.
I am the captain. I say you go.
I'm gonna kind of interrupt your conversation. I just wanted to see if this door that I'm standing in front of now is also locked.
It is still locked.
Okay.
They didn't say we had to fill all the braziers, did they?
I mean, it's implied, but it didn't quite say that. It just said we had to keep them balanced.
I mean,
Let's see. I have earth, air, and I think arcane.
so like, like, not that I would know, but Yurei could confirm that sometimes when people make locks, there are pins inside that have nothing to do with unlocking the thing, right?
Sometimes you can partially open a lock by using some of the pins. Yes, don't have to use them all.
But
Although
there
I
are
think
dummy pins.
Is that a risk we want to take with this particular lock, Captain?
DM, while they're deliberating, I would like to examine all the empty orbs and see if there's anything signifying in any way what element they're for.
Okay. As you pace around, which direction are you going?
If I'm here, I would go counterclockwise.
Okay. So as you pass the first one, it is a gray matte metal brazier. You don't notice. Good night, Carius.
Hi, Karis.
Night.
You don't notice if there's any particular indicators or markings for it. It just kind of looks like a little bit of a beat up metal brazier. You do notice that all of these are dinged in some way, except for the two that have the orbs in them. Those appear to be perfectly fine. But these ones look like they've been dinged and scratched and banged and bunked.
Oh no, not bonked.
I know, bunked as well.
So there's no lettering on them at all?
Nope. And then as you get past the fire one, it looks pristine. And then as you make your full loop, you notice that there are 3 black, 3 white, and 3 gray.
Yes.
I was just trying to point out that, we should think outside the box, that maybe we don't have to fill them all, just put the right ones in the right spots.
That's what I was checking for, to see if the right spots were somehow indicated.
Yeah, Scratch was just finishing the conversation while Rain was walking around.
Sorry.
Go ahead, Lachlan, you were trying to say something.
You said they need to balance. Does that mean that we need to put them in the correct spots at the same time?
Just gonna pipe up. That would be my guess.
Well, what do we think is a black orb?
I'm not sure it really matters as for the colors, other than the fact that if you set one in a black space, you need to set one in a light space at the same time, and vice versa.
colors.
Shh, we're in game.
Oh. What game
So-
playing?
What's this one?
So these orbs weren't giving off specific magic, were they?
So the purple one, as far as I can figure, is lightning, and the red one is, of course, fire. I was actually hoping we'd find that one outside to see if I could use it to augment my magic, but no such thing. So who wants to do an experiment with me? Because I have a theory that I'd like to test, but I also don't want to blow up everyone. So,
Yeah.
willing volunteer.
Experiments. I volunteer.
Not.
So,
No, wait, Lachlan, if someone were to get hurt, we would need you to help put them back together. I'm sorry to.
Okay.
my theory is that there's an order to where these need to be placed, but since there's no indication, my guess would be that air would be this one, So where do we think the earth or arcane ones could go based on this? Because if this is fire, this is probably water.
So
What do we think would go between water and electricity or lightning?
I do not know which would
Do you
go
think this is
there.
like the balance of the elemental planes?
I do. Because the dimensions balance so freaking often.
I would imagine
so-
that air and earth are opposites, right?
That
And
is
fire
my
and water
theory.
are opposites.
That would be my thought, yes.
And
So
Perhaps
if we're
the
going
colored
to
grades
place-
also have to do with something light and dark, positive,
So-
negative.
So if we're going to place air in this one, I would like a volunteer to place earth in this one at the same time.
Uh, mm,
I will volunteer.
you do it.
I'm gonna hand Hellstrom the earth orb.
Da 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 da.
The rest of you might want to clear out the room, just in case.
On it.
I'm going to.
Zoop.
I'm going to stand watching very closely.
Yeah, Lockman, get ready in case someone gets hurt.
Tanzanite's hiding behind Augie.
That makes sense. Alright, who wants to give us a countdown?
I suppose I will. As Salt moves over and stands in front of Scratch.
I'm going to make the use minor illusion to create the Mario Kart countdown sound as Scratch counts.
Ah, Mario Kart, an ancient Vox game.
So we go on go, not one.
Got it.
Noted.
3, 2, 1, go.
And a place.
All right. And so it was Earth here.
You're on the wrong layer again, I think.
No, not Earth here.
No.
Air here.
No. The other way around.
Okay.
Oh no, they're in the wrong spots.
No, they're not. No, they're not. It's fine. It's fine.
Earth here, air here.
Everything's fine. All right. So as you place them in, the two orbs settle in, and the first time. So as they settle in, they just kind of nestle into the craters. And they seem to slowly expand in size until they fill the brazier.
Nothing catastrophic or explosive happens?
Nope. They just set in very nicely. And as you watch, the damage and the breaking on the braziers seems to slowly heal until they look pristine like the others.
I'm gonna take that as a good sign.
I would call this a success.
Nothing exploded.
Does anything else happen? Like maybe some of these doors unlocking?
No, none of the doors seem to unlock. But you guys all feel a deep rumbling down underneath your feet before it suddenly stops.
Yeah, that was interesting.
But we're not dead, so that's a plus.
Nothing exploded. I say that is a success.
Okay, so we only have one left, right?
No, I'm gonna guess that the arcane one goes in the middle, just because it has a nice symmetry to it. But I would not place it there just yet, just to be safe.
I concur. I believe that one should be last.
We should try to find the other ones first.
Well, we can't seem to go forward from here, so guess we have to go.
Did we
back.
try the door on the other side of the room?
Last time we checked, it was locked.
Yes,
I was about to try to pick it.
Kyrius had previously checked that, although I don't think he actually told anyone.
No, yeah, he didn't tell anyone he checked it.
Yeah, Kyrius had gone over to check it, and before he could tell anyone, he had to leave.
We could just say his character told us that it's locked.
Yeah. If Yude goes over there and asks him, he'll tell Yude that it's locked.
Yep. Which he is going to do. With the notion being locked, Yude is going to try to pick it. Want me to roll Thieves' Tools?
Yes, please. I mean, if you're trying to pick a lock, absolutely.
He was just waiting.
Jesus.
Oh my god!
Yeah, no. You know what? No, I'm sorry. You can go fuck yourself. You needed a 40.
Rude!
So, Yude, you just kind of examine this lock for a second, and you notice it's kind of a really, really basic ass lock. It's honestly kind of surprising. In this big magical castle, it is this boring ass lock, and it takes you like I'm gonna even let you flare this a little bit to pick it.
Ah. I see they're using master brand locks. Let me just do a little quick little stab as it unlocks. That doesn't even finagle with it, just a quick stab to unlock it. With a
See,
pick.
I'm just imagining you like stick the pick in, and then you like thump the door next to the lock. It's just like plunk.
Pretty much.
You hear that from across the room.
Well,
All right.
the hunt continues.
Does the hunt continue, or do we want to go ahead and end for tonight since we are missing 2 people?
I think this is a good place to finish up a session.
Yeah, we've got some orbs in, got a door unlocked. New places for next session.
Yeah.
Very
Yep.
true. All right. Well, I guess that's it for Adventures Anonymous tonight. Next week is checking calendar. Next week is a Saturday off night for Journeys in Drutori. We probably will do a game night that night. And then, yeah, back to Adventures Anonymous on Sunday. So, without anything else to say, I will say, remember to follow us. Check us out on YouTube, Twitch, TikTok, all the things. Do all the following, subscriber things, and join us on our public Discord for some gaming and some discussion and everything else. And if you feel like it, feed our dice habit down at the bottom of your screen. I'd like to thank everyone for watching, and remember, there's 20 sides to every story. Roll for yours. Have a good night, everyone.